Welcome back. If you're someone who thinks having a child with Down syndrome might not be something to celebrate, our next guests want you to know it most certainly is, and they have an event that's going to change that mindset for you. Joining me to discuss the details of the 321 Love Your Neighbor event is Michelle Tesori, the founder of the Tesori Family Foundation, and Frank Stevens, a world-renowned advocate for people with Down syndrome. Great to see you guys.
Good to be here. Thanks for having us.
It's an honor to have you on the show, Frank.
Thank you.
Let's talk about this event, Michelle. This is something. What year of the event is this?
We started last year. World Down Syndrome Day is celebrated throughout the world, but we wanted to do something locally to increase awareness about children and adults that live in our community with Down syndrome and kind of take that fear away. If we're not willing to have the conversation about people with Down syndrome or get ourselves introduced to people with Down syndrome, then we don't know what we're missing. So we're just trying to start the conversation, and we do it tomorrow at 321 Love Your Neighbor.
We do.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be
tired already.
Be a good time. Hey, this guy, he travels the world speaking all over the place, and you guys got him to speak at the event tomorrow.
We do. So we love Frank, and Frank is one of the world's leading advocates for people with Down syndrome, and we have the privilege of having Frank address all of our guests tomorrow as we celebrate people with Down syndrome.
Frank, for those out there, if you Google Frank Stevens, you're going to see around 2012, you just rocketed to stardom, spoke in front of Congress. The Obamas had you at their house a couple different times. What has the last 7 years for you been like?
It has been fantastic.
How was dinner with the Obamas?
I loved the dinner. Obama quoted me in his speech.
The President of the United States used a quote that you said in front of Congress to the guests. What did that feel like?
It felt like I was on top, like on top of the water, on top of the mountain. Because there were so many people there, like not only me, but also Michelle Kwan, Akimbe Mutombo. Any star that you can imagine.
All kinds of famous people.
Could have been there.
And so that has propelled you into traveling the world literally to speak on behalf of adults and kids with Down syndrome. Tomorrow's event, it's going to be a great time. It's going to be a lot of fun. But when people leave there, what do you want them taking with them and thinking?
Well, it's not all about me. It's about all people with Downs. People should always feel that they can expect great things from their children. That's why I love coming to Jacksonville. I love visiting Michelle and Isaiah.
Isaiah, I think we have a picture of Isaiah there. He couldn't make it today. There's Isaiah. Look at that. He's going to love seeing himself on TV a little bit later. That's awesome, Michelle. I love what you and Paul do in our community. I got a chance to be with you guys last week. It was an amazing event. This event, how can people get involved?
Yeah, so we're going to be at the Church of 1122's Bay Meadows campus tomorrow. It is 321, which is the celebration of the third copy of the 21st chromosome, which is genetically how they define Down syndrome. So it's 321 at 321 in the afternoon, so 3:21 p.m. Church of 1122's Bay Meadows campus, and it's a community event. It is open to everybody. We would love for you to be there. Show up in your blue and yellow. Those are the two colors that represent Down syndrome.
Oh,
and wear your fancy socks.
Fancy socks. Wear your crazy socks. You like mine, Frank?
Fancy socks.
Yeah, the yellow submarine.
There you go, the Beatles. That's
You
right.
even got the right
If
color.
I had socks, I would wear my Charles Towson socks because I just made angels.
You did. You're here with your angels.
Hi,
That is
angels.
true.
Oh boy, you have a girlfriend back in Virginia, hopefully not streaming online.
Don't worry, it's local here, not there.
Don't miss this event. Thank you so much for being here. Love you guys. Don't miss this event. Make sure you remember the details, and you can head over to our website, firstcoastliving.net.